hard again afterwards. So it's just kind of like, you know, you have the bricks. Just
So, ihr fucking Loser. 2-0 oder was? Oder kriegen wir ein drittes?
Construction equipment, but you don't know how to put together the house yet. As GX still on the blue side, SK still on the red, and we have the first couple of bands come through here. It's going to be Pantheon and Akali, so still respect the leader. And there's that Nautilus. Man, he is just maintaining that highest big ban presence. Right
yeah, because it's not like it's in my head. Because I look at things like the Karma that are super high priority, Orianna, and all these. Yes,
like
exactly.
That,
but obviously, Nautilus is just very good at answering that. Speaking of Seraphine, Ash.
It's up, and Ash is locked in for GX.
Yeah, very, very quick, and it does make a lot of sense. Very strong, very easy to try and play through, and just enables a lot of those junglers as well that want to be more of those fighters, those skirmishes in the early game. So I have to see what Isma wants to try and go for. And how SK are going to respond. Probably Corki, Nami, or something along these lines, but we'll have to see what the answer is.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about the Ashe Seraphine is, like, you log in the Ashe, I don't think you're ever going to take the Seraphine with a different AD carry, so you're pretty much guaranteed that. SK just assume it's going to be the Seraphine and can now try and pick something that will play into that strong in lane. Varus is one of those options.
I do wonder over the next couple of weeks, because they removed the farming support, I say farming limit on the supports. If we start to see like Senna Seraphine starting to come through as like a take, but we'll have to see if that ends up being a thing. Either way, VAR is going to be the pick.
DJ, danke für den 6.
Answering long range with long range, a lot of clear, a lot of utility, and this was like back if you go a few years, kind of the answer into each other. Back we had like the prey arrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
The double bow and arrows.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Both with CC ultimates. They're basically the same champ.
Exactly.
If you really squint.
I was gonna say.
And maybe just close your eyes. But Mundo could be locked in for Skeens either way to create a lot of space, because Varus, what he does need is things that can make space for him. He does not have a lot of mobility himself.
No, definitely does not. I'm curious what they want to try and pair with this Varus on the bottom side, though.
Oh, okay.
For Mickey, but definitely want something that's going to be able to answer for the Seraphine. And you're
also Mickey spielt Mele Support. Und ich sag's wie es ist. Mele Support gegen Ashe Seraphine. Ist ziemlich gut.
I love the Wukong into the Mundo specifically. You use the Cyclone once, you get through that passive, you use the Cyclone again, you actually get the CC. So it's basically guarantees that you have engage on the Mundo, which sometimes can be tough.
It's also just kind of says, hey, we're just going to farm it out.
Yeah.
Say, look, we're both going to clear relatively well. We're just going to wait for our level 6s, and then as Giant X, that's where you can really start to come online, because Mundo isn't really going to be ganking terribly hard in the early stages, so it kind of bypasses that weak spot for Wukong.
And it's a Nivea locked in. I would say not a support, but technically could be. This is kind of a three-way flex. It's most popular in the mid lane, but it at the top, it has been played support.
It's also like if
3 Rollenflex theoretisch, ja.
Of weird supports. Like he has for years been trying to get this Twisted Fate support to the main stage. Hasn't happened yet, but maybe we'll see it at some stage. But either way, like could be a decent answer into that bottom side. We saw it, I believe, in the LCK already, but I can't remember if it was into the Ashe Seraphine. But either way,
I believe it's a non-special as well. But yeah, I will say, I'm expecting to not go top lane for the simple fact that Wonder did so
which does give all the information you need to Giant X.
If anything, this is a really draft disadvantage for SK, because they didn't play game 1. They have to play it now to make sure they get it in.
He did say he would play it in game 1 though, which already makes me think maybe he was lying.
Wonder's a liar. That's crazy.
I don't know if he is though. Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe he meant to say game 2.
Oh, okay. Or maybe his coach.
Lane-Mundo spielbar, nicht sehr gut. Nur in bestimmten Matchups. Argument.
It's the best of band, it's Rumble band, so focus on the top side of the Rift with these bands coming through. And again, this Anivia is like a weirdly annoying flex, because it does mean that you can't necessarily throw just bans and supports, because it could always start down there. I think
SK will nah.
I do think the Anivia probably isn't going support, just because
SK will nah, denke ich.
Usually with the Anivia, want something that's relatively short range, because then you can kind of lock them down with the wall and get the stun and guarantee a lot of follow-up. That's not really how this operates with Ashe Seraphine. They have incredibly long range and can push a lot, so I think it is maybe leading taking it in the lane and banning away some of those things that have a little bit long range, but the Mel actually kind of helping
Die wollen Ari.
in that regard, because but still saying we don't really know where this
Und das ist gut gegen Ashe Seraphine.
Like a Mel ban is almost always just a mid lane ban, so, which means like they're respecting can be flexed around. As I'm hearing from producers, Mickey has been playing a couple of Anivia games on the solo queue accounts. He's got 12 currently.
God only knows what that man's playing. I looked at his account and he had Cassante support. Like what?
Aha, Rel.
That man plays everything.
Yeah, he does play everything. I don't think it's gonna
Ach
be
du
Nivea,
Scheiße.
as the Rel is locked in. Recently buffed.
Ach du Scheiße. Na dann.
So
Wurde gebufft.
some numbers adjusted, a little stronger right now. Have we seen it in LEC? I at least haven't casted any.
No,
yeah, okay.
Not so far. So definitely the first one of this year.
Alle dober.
This year, but definitely of the split. As you say, got buffed, got decent damage, got some speed ups as well, which kind of help it out. And I think you're going to need it. Also, crucially, has the Shattering
Well, es wird dann wieder top wieder gegen Renekton.
against the Seraphine can be very handy in getting rid of that W.
Was ist unser Last
Either
Pick?
way, though, you're still quite reliant on
Oh nein, er spielt jetzt Silas.
mistakes really from Noah and Jun where they position too far forward. It is hard to close the gap as well against these two.
Yeah, the amount of slows you got to get through from the volley, even Asher.
Wir picken jetzt Ari wahrscheinlich oder sowas. Yep, und da kommt jetzt Silas Last Pick und es wird fucking horrible sein, weil Silas gegen Wukong und Dogshit ist.
Flying pick top lane, again, not knowing where that Nivea's going, and then
Es kommt 100%, es wird yep,
it's a Nivea top.
es ist so vorhersehbar.
Let me know that it's actually
Es ist so vorhersehbar und es ist nicht gut.
5 of a Nivea.
Yep.
Still, like we've seen this from Wonder. He's pulling it out for
Es ist so vorhersehbar.
now a Nivea top.
G2 had Pike, SK has a Nivea.
Oh.
Equally as hype, you know? Scaling late game infinite CS wave clear versus like reset city crazy assassin. You know, kind of the same amount of dopamine, right?
Yeah, it's like, you know, the loot box like figurines that you open where you don't know what loot figurine you're gonna. It feels like that, where it's like, oh, I hope I get G2 Pike. And we got SK and Nivea at home. You know?
Hey, the dopamine of just pressing R and wall and clearing an entire wave.
It is good.
That feels good.
Yeah.
It's up there with like Sivir, Static Shiv Sivir, which is.
Man muss Silas nicht gegen Wukong gut, du stirbst legit im AOE von der Ulti.
Sometimes you just
Das Problem von Silas gegen Wukong und Teamfighting ist so schwierig, du stirbst im AOE.
Coaches will give the fist
Es ist sehr schwierig.
SK versus GX game 2. GX are up in the series, but SK lean back on another kind of out-of-pocket pick here. It was Leader expanding his champion pool. Now it's Wonder expanding his champion pool. SK are showing that they are growing as a squad and they are trying new things to pick up wins.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be a case of SK hoping that they can get a lead and then find fights on their terms. Because otherwise, I feel like the same thing's going to happen as the last game. You've got a ton of mobility through mid-jungle, long range on the bot lane.
Ja.
Great ways to enable
Well,
Kong and Renekton.
vielleicht überzeugen sie mich ja.
Like, it feels like Giant X have a very easy, well-rounded composition, whereas for SK, it's kind of a bit more individually focused with presence in the bottom lane to try and seek engages.
And it's also, I mean, it's funny to say like, oh, back to comfort when it's Wonder's second time playing Nivea, but for Leader, you know, Silas is a champion he's very much known for, these melee.
Double Ignite Mitte.
So I'm liking that they're leaning back on that for him as well. Only one of them can play something new at a time.
Okay,
So the Leader plays his melees and Wonder plays Nivea, the Wonder will play something and then Leader gets to play Ori, you know. Also, he played Ari last week, which is not something he's known for either. But GX currently have forward position on this bottom brush, and we'll get some trade onto the bot lane. Nice. Jun, as Yappa and Mickey take a worse trade.
Yeah, Mickey basically just hopping into the wall because he's like, I'm not getting this engaged, so I'm going to give myself the shield instead. And this is kind of the downside of Rel in this scenario. There's very little that you can do. You are kind of waiting for that level 6 and for your jungler to come down in the hopes that you can make a play. But Mundo, as we said already, not exactly the exceptional ganker, so I'm waiting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, Mundo can't really provide a lot of like pressure relief outside of.
Ich kann nicht enttäuscht werden.
Rel again,
Ich bin immun.
engages. I'm really like, if ever Mickey doesn't have his flash, it's bad news.
He may have to burn his flash.
He may have to. No, he goes for the crash down, still rooted up here as damage falls up from Noah and June, who hit the level 2 early. Saves flash, but it's at the detriment of him not having a health bar anymore.
Yeah, that's less than ideal. Going to get interrupted here as well. Follow-up not going to hit.
Das Carbon in Draft, dann bist du Silber, wenn du das denkst.
It does mean that Yappa will probably take a decent chunk of damage trying to get the CS.
Dann bist du Silber.
A huge wave. So maybe Giant X. I'm curious if they do stick around and just look for a quick reset themselves.
I mean, they could go for the reset, or they could do the Giga Chat and try and dive this. I mean, like, if Jun is able to land the right stuff. There is Cleanse, though. And also, yeah, Skeens is in the neighborhood, so scary to go for it. They will just back off, and Yappa will be behind CS for right now, but he'll catch as much of this under the turret as he can.
Nice early plays for Noah and Jun, though, so already off to a great start.
Was check auf aus. Ja, keine Meinung.
He gets back. Leader hasn't been able to get these aggressive trades, though. With the way the wave is positioned, it's in a terrible spot for him. Really, what you want as the Silas is to constantly be taking these aggressive trades, using the Kingslayer to heal back up, and then basically just trying to nullify the early damage from Ari.
Man muss alles bei den Wukong in Teamfights wirst du vom Auri vom Wukong getötet und der CC dich, also sein CC ist zu annoying.
Yeah, and I mean with the ignite on both mid laners, it can get real explosive real fast in there. So anytime you're low on health bar, it's not one of those situations where like, it's fine. It's like Rise versus Anivia or something. So like there's not a lot of kill threat. Nope, there is a lot of kill threat as Jackie's gets the electrocute onto Skeens and pushes him back, and he'll go for a reset now as well.
Yeah, but it denies Skeens from being able to get the crab. So Isma getting a double scuttle here. Very nice early game, and just playing off the back of again. Jackie's outplaying leader in the mid.
Double crapped als Wukong, als Mundo. By the way, double crapped als Mundo.
He's getting these big leads in the jungle. It's from his solo laner setting him up immaculate. I'm impressed with just how the team has helped set up Yzma to be this kind of monster carry. Kind of define this.
Was ist Silas Draft? Horrible Silas Draft.
Yeah, he was a little behind from like the XP department and such, but then he gets all these kills and is like.
Silas Mundo, Jungle Mitte. Guys, es ist insanely horrible. Auch wenn die Ultis an sich natürlich ganz nice sind, aber es ist horrible. Vertraut mir, es ist horrible.
This split has been enabling Isma with invades through bottom side, just trying to get him into this early lead, and then enabling him to be a carry. And I think it's worked out great for Giant X. Did in the last game. We'll have to see now if they can do so once more here against SK.
Yeah, he gets the double scuttles and is now back to the clears. Has the Sheen picked up. Meanwhile, Skeens going back to his full clear.
Manipuliert die Wave mit dem W. Smart. Die Wave pusht ihn rein. Also so pusht die Wave halt in ihn rein. In den Töt.
Second clears right now, and I will favor a Wukong hitting level 6 early. 10 times out of 10. Again, I talked about how I like it into the Mundo to begin with, because you can just get past the passive with double Cyclone, but also just strong in general.
Well, this is the thing, you can't hit level 6 now with Skeens off of that crab anymore because you lost that first one, so you now have to kind of go back into your own jungle and take it, so it opens up a lot more opportunities for Isma when he wants to try and play out on the rest of the map. So I now want to see what the plan is for Skeens, because it's just not in the best of positions right now.
As you can see, the crowd is waiting in anticipation for the first big moment of this game. GX right now have a slight lead on their jungler, but it's only through these clears. No kills yet on either side here, as the junglers will both go for another reset right now. So not going to be contesting for that early dragon. And okay, top lane, I'm imagining this is just a farm fest at all times.
Yeah, Skeens looks a little uncertain as to what he's up to. He started his recall several times, and there, I think the call is, do we do dragon or what do we do here? And the ward went down, but they're going to continue on towards the dragon, knowing that Isma would want to go for that top Scuttle Crab and hit level 6. So this is basically the trade-off we're getting. Again, kind of similar to the last game, with Skeens focusing on getting this early dragon and trying to focus on getting that going for SK, versus Giant X and Isma, who are kind of focused more on that individual lead for Isma and playing through that.
Yeah, and I love this call from Skeens because it basically gives Isma a tough call. Either you contest me with that ult, or you go for the ult and give me the dragon. Isma does go for the latter. Will hit 6 earlier, but that means that the dragon stacking begins for SK.
Yeah, but look at the invade that's about to come through from the Wukong. Basically saying, cool, you know what, I'm going to have this level 6, I can use that advantage, and Lot sticking around as well, because he knows that Isma's going to be in his corner.
He did not
Skeens is fucked.
He's going to go for a proxy clear. Skeens spots him, and Lot, he might be able to bait Skeens in here if he plays as if his jungler's not right behind him. Wonder's walking in. Lot will actually go up to clear the wave. Wonder gets some damage on the Lot, throws down the ultimate, has the wall as well, as Isma not actually looking to start the fight here, and now, with leader coming up as well, it is a Lot flashing the wall to get out. Isma will get the red buff at the cost of his top laner summoner spell.
Yeah, Lot kind of stuck around a little bit too long.
Bitte.
He could have just taken the camp and got away, even if Lot wanted to help on securing that buff just to make sure it got down fast enough. Still, flash down for Lot. Probably not the end of the world, but here we go.
Engage. The Chain of Corruption follows up. Jun flashes, and the auto follows. It's first blood to Mickey as Noah's free firing, focused onto Yuppa. Flashes for the damage, trying to get one last auto, will land it. Now Mickey in a 1v1 onto Noah. Noah hits level 6 and throws out the arrow. He's still autoing. He gets hit by the crash down, tries to dodge, gets away from the shattering strike as Mickey needs one more auto and he gets it. Mickey with 2 kills.
Base, riechst die Wave nicht rein.
Bottom lane, but Mickey able to get one back. Noah had a great flash in that play to get over the arrow, but we'll see it here. It's that 6 that we were talking about. Immediately they could turn on to Jun, finish him off, and then turn back over towards Noah. But Noah ends up finishing off Yoppa with a great flash we said over the arrow, but off the kill, and then this minion dying as well hits 6, which means that then he throws out the arrow to Mickey, but Mickey also leveled up in the middle of the fight. So by getting the extra point,
oh, zweiter Drag ist so wichtig, Guys. Es ist so wichtig.
and then is able to get that E in the unmented form to get the kill. Little messy, but it works out.
And also Noah flashing in, I believe, to get vision in the brush too, because I don't think there was a ward in there at the time.
Yeah.
Either way, that was a very close call. Noah almost turns it, but Mickey shows up big.
I think the only unfortunate part is but both kills went towards Mickey, whereas on Noah, at least he got that early kill. Now, you're still going to match in terms of items, but definitely just something to look out for as this game goes on.
And that's the danger of flashing that far to get the Seraphine kill. It's hard for, I mean, you saw all the CC landed. That was Rel Crash Down, it was the Chain of Corruption, it was the Shattering Strike, and still, Seraphine's shield is enough to make it so that, like, she's able to get the heal off, she's able to get the flash off, and then you have to flash forward into Noah, who's just auto-attacking you the whole time. Now Leader, in a 1-1 against Jackie's, the charm goes wide, but Yzma, Warrior Trickster forward. Leader should be safe for right now. Yzma has the flash if you really wants to force something. As the Ash Arrow comes up and not able to land on its target. Leader jumps over the wall, heal for Mickey, now flash in! Using
ist nicht tot. Ist tot.
but the ultimate will land, and it's a
Ist tot.
Leader will fall for the enemy support, but Mickey as well makes
Und Game's gone.
Trade and a double kill for Yzma.
SK trying to save the mid laner and ends up coming out trumps for Giant X. They get the double kill on that bottom side and looking for Yoppa again.
Yoppa all alone right now. No Seraphine behind him. Yzma will throw down the bonk, tank up the turret, and that is an easy kill setup for Noah.
Also just trying to be a
GG.
bit towards Skeens, but I don't think he'd be able to do
GG.
much. Still, Giant X, good recovery on the play. Really well done to pick up these 4 kills now for themselves.
GG. Ich hasse die so sehr. Die machen mich, guck mal, jedes Mal gehe ich da mit der Erwartung rein, okay, vielleicht funktioniert hier was. Und dann mitten im Game bin ich einfach so sauer, ihr versteht nicht. Die machen mich so sauer, Mann.
Yzma ends up reading it and goes towards Leader. They make this play on towards the support here.
Ihr checkt nicht.
Charm, Leader doesn't get the ultimate off in time, which doesn't actually buy the space then for the rest of SK. And Jackie's able to follow up beautifully. Then Leader mid again.
Back to mid lane and back to Leader struggling here. No flash available this time around. He'll try and Kingslayer to heal back up, but Jackie's with one more auto will take him down. GX again punishing the melee mid laner.
And I think this is where the fact that you're able to set up a lot of vision around this mid lane is
Unreal, man.
SK. Like traditionally you want to have a jungler that can set up a lot of that control, but if you actually look at the map, there's just a lot of like defensive vision that's been set up by SK in their own jungle. So like you don't actually have that vision control that Silas needs to play aggressive. So he's getting caught out, and it's well played by Giant X to kind of force these plays because you know that this is the only way Silas can match.
Yeah. And when he doesn't have flash, he doesn't have a lot of tools to get away from you either. He's got one mobility spell, and his ultimate was on cooldown as well. So Jackie's and Jun finding a nice window there, and now Dragon has spawned. The gold lead has grown a little bit since that last fight on the bottom side, but now Leader takes a spear rush with a hijack. Flash out from Jackie's. Leader not able to find the solo kill there.
Skeens just pressuring here on the bottom side. I don't think you end up winning this one though. Especially as that ultimate is back up for Yzma, but they want to look.
Lands on the Skeens, and now they turn their attention. Yzma's on the Leader. Again, no flash available, and no ultimate this time around. He falls. Jackie's with the kill.
Ja.
Noah chased down by Skeens. He's trying to get
Silas gegen Wukong, hab's euch gesagt.
But it's a 2-for-1 trade up for SK so far, as Mickey gets another kill for himself. Yzma trying to trade onto Yoppa, but the shutdown for Skeens before it happens. SK's bot laner holds his line.
This early game is nuts. 6 kills each side, not even 12 minutes into the game. It's a bloodbath.
Fucking low.
Moving down to see if he needed to be involved. TP's back up to the play, but it will be a second dragon and some kills for SK. And it's off of this push, but Yzma, instead of moving
So winning.
to the bottom side, it needs you to jump.
Okay.
I think they can burst out.
Aber dieses Game wird nicht winning sein. Ich weiß nicht, dieses Game wird nicht winning sein. Das ist mein Problem. Ist egal, wie viel die hier wie dieser Teamfight hier läuft. Und der nächste, die werden dieses Game nicht gewinnen.
It's one more kill for the SK lineup.
And a shutdown to boot for Skeens. That was a gold advantage for Yzma earlier, but now Skeens is shortening that. Although now that I say it, it really is only Mickey currently with the gold advantage, but the overall team gold is dead even. You're gonna favor the Dragons at that point. They've stacked up too early.
But it's also just like
Ja, das Problem ist, dass die halt auch so gespiked sind. Also du hast halt 4 Kills bei Mickey, 800 Gold sind halt auf Mickey. Checkt ihr? 800 Gold, die sind auf Mickey.
Flash out from Ash, and Noah gets to safety.
Yeah, again, like I like the way SK are playing this. Like Leader is not letting up in this mid lane, constantly looking for these plays like you have to. Same with Mickey. He has 4 kills in this bottom lane as the rest.
Ja, theoretisch Herald Setup wäre gut, aber ich glaube nicht, dass du also Herald bei 15 wäre gut, aber ich glaube nicht, dass du den Fight gewinnst um Ding herum.
If you're constantly trading health, the all-in is what wins, but here we go.
Skeen's looking at Jackie's right now. Spirit Rush used, and he's fine. He got some good damage on the Leader as well, so Skeen's is basically just helping to relieve some of that pressure as Lot's going for the all-in onto Wonder right now. Pops the Dominus, flash out from Wonder. Must have not had the Frostbite available, as now it will go out there, so Lot getting on top of him, getting a Summoner spell, and we'll push another wave. Wonder will stick around, though, as the Glacial Storm will drop it down.
How does it press the attack, though? That's a lot of damage.
Big damage, as he doesn't quite have enough.
Oh, it's a couple of minion auto attacks that it might have just been enough, but yeah, a lot. Trying to get that revive passive out, but just not quite able to.
It was close. I respect the attempt, but Wonder with the Rod of Ages completed. He's got a lot of health and also just healing up whenever he's pressing those abilities. So he stays alive for then, backs off, and will walk back towards, actually the mid lane is looking like where he's pathing currently. So we have a lane swap as Leader's heading towards the top side to match Jackie's.
With the focus being on that Rift Herald, that's about to spawn in 50 seconds. First item's basically completed across the board, so SK kind of comfortable to compete on this mid wave, looking for Jun.
Mickey going in, Jun sidesteps, Encore lands, Chain of Corruption chained, and now Yzma dives onto Yapa. Everyone from GX throwing their abilities at the young AD carry. Noah now stuck on the other side of the wall. Yzma stunned up, cannot kill Mickey, double kill to one.
Es ist nur falsche Hoffnung, Guys. Es ist nur falsche Hoffnung, damit sie euch richtig picken können. Sobald ihr an sie glaubt, picken die euch richtig. Er hat's begrenzt.
They're finding these small picks constantly.
Yeah, that was the Encore, that was the arrow. I mean, I believe he cleansed the Encore immediately. The arrow still landed, then Yzma jumps in, but because they used all that on one person, now SK have the cooldown advantage as Lot is not able to take that turret. Wonder can make it down there and catch the wave.
And that is the benefit of cleanse into these sort of games, because it reduces still the next CC that hits you as well, which is basically what you see. So Jun ends up getting caught, gets the Encore out, then the cleanse happens, but it reduces the ultimate a lot. The problem is that there's a monkey in your face, and that never ends well. So it ends up being the kill going across to Yzma, but Mickey besting. I'm not going into my past history as we get onto this play again.
Hijack onto Spirit Rush from Leader as Jackie's looks to continue the chase. Lot coming in from a flank. They have the turret to back up on Charm. Well, I don't know if that landed on Skeens. Either way, Leader's in some trouble. Low health bar. Skeens buying him space.
Then gedived.
Land, but it's only the slow onto Skeens as Yzma's in the brush. He has the damage to look for an assassination, but he was not confident enough to look at Leader there. Had the flash available. We'll look at
Natürlich hoffe ich, dass sie gewinnen, aber ich weiß halt, dass sie nicht werden. Ich weiß ganz genau. Ich weiß genau, ich werde hier enttäuscht.
Uses the Kingslayer to close the distance onto the Renekton to then get that Ari out, our ult last charge out. Really nicely played, and Leader ends up surviving off the back of that. Could have been very messy otherwise.
Absolutely could have. As, 2 low health bars, but they are able to back off. It's 2 hard champions to actually kill. Leader did not even use the Rocket Belt, which we are still on Rocket Belt watch. This one makes a lot more sense, I will say. This is a very traditional Rocket Belt wielder. Just wait till Jackie's finishes his, though.
That's going to be carry. Rel is the true carry in this one, though. So I think that's where we got to focus on, though. 4-1-4.
Think about it. Rocket Belt Rel. Yeah.
I mean, it rhymes. That means it has to be correct. But at least the alliteration.
Kind of. Yeah. A lot of...
Yeah.
I'm going to try that one. I'll go back to the hotel after this. I'll try it on the hotel.
Ja, man braucht halt dringend das zweite Item bei Jopa.
We'll see if it works.
Wäre so wichtig. Zweites Item wäre so wichtig bei Jopa.
Picks a brush, spotted out on the ward. SK will push him back, and he's just going to go back to the wave.
Preemptive TP from Anivia to the mid lane, though. Basically trying to clear out this wave so SK can establish themselves in river. So he's going to make a total.
Oh, kommt, Freunde, kommt. Ihr habt das. Eine Teamfight.
So maybe an offensive carry here.
Battle Herald.
Right now is it's going to be GX approaching. Lot's coming up from the bottom river. He has a flank angle. Not spotted currently. Now Mickey will see him. So
Und Battle Herald gone.
on the flank. Instead, Leader goes in and hijacks Noah's arrow, as the arrow will actually land on the Wonder. Charm as well follow up. It's hard to kill the Anivia.
Ein Glück, Isma, no joke. Isma ist wirklich der Goat.
Wonder to the passive. Lot marked on the flank. They will get the shutdown, but Lot will trade his life. They can't kill Skeens. The Mundo's too strong. Double kill to Yappa.
Isma ist wirklich der Goat.
Find one for their troubles. Now Mickey looking to continue the play as
Oh, Jun ist cocky.
Noah gets a big chunk of damage right there. Message sent. SK win the fight, and we'll look at the dragon.
SK juggled their health bars.
All right.
In that fight. You end up using the Anivia passive to buy it.
All right.
And even the ult usage was perfect. We'll get it on the replay. But as Isma went in, he got immediately met with an arrow to the face thanks to Leader. And it just couldn't get that ultimate off. So Wonder ends up buying a bunch of time. So obviously has the shield still from the teleport in. But watch, as you go forward, Leader, immediate ult onto Isma. Isma can't get the knock up. Then you get the root, which allows Wonder to buy enough space so they can kind of deal with a lot of the backline. And at this stage, that health bar that's on the Anivia is just letting SK free hit. It's an attempt at the follow-up, but as Skeens backs away using that ultimate to heal up, Leader manages to flash out on low HP as well. Mickey, I think, predicting the flash here, gets it wrong. Jun flashes over the wall, but SK still going to be able to take two and the dragon.
Yeah, the amount of times I've seen teams not be able to kill an Anivia fast enough. I mean, it's a big health bar with the Rod of Ages complete. I know you're a mage, but you're one of the tankier ones.
Especially when you get that health shield as well. It just adds so much durability there. So again, Wonder making sure that that TP shield goes to use. And now SK feeling confident. Like a little bit of a gold lead for themselves. 3 dragons. The ability to start taking these towers now as well. As Jun.
Chain of Corruption lands onto Jun, and it's just that easy. One more arrow should be enough. It's actually Skeens. It will knock him down with the auto attack.
Okay.
Just tickling the health bar of Skeens. Actually getting a lot of work done here, as the arrow will also land on Mickey
Understands.
cleanse right there, as he has the Summoner's Spellbook. As Jackie's now lands a charm. That one will connect as Mickey now under the Cyclone, but in comes Leader. Flash from Noah.
Okay.
Right back. Leader will get him. It's Yappa with the kill credit, as Jackie's will snipe another charm. Lot with the kill. We are scrapping in the mid lane.
It's just throwing haymakers back and forth, seeing if they can pick off anyone. But again, it's Wonder on this top side who's trying to take the tower. Doesn't have the TP. I think this bird is just a sitting duck.
Yeah, about to get cooked. Lot coming up here, has Isma behind him. Wonder will land the slow. That's Dominance popped. Stunned to buy some time, but I mean, in these types of moments, you know that you're not long for this world. He actually
Und der Flash noch.
Flash. So Summoner spell used there, surprising, and will still die.
From sitting duck to silly goose, the Wonder story. But as SK underneath this tower, I mean, it's a great pick. They get Jun immediately, and then at that stage, I think, okay, we could probably try and back away, but Noah's doing so much work in getting the slow. It's a good cleanse from Mickey. But as they get Leader coming up, they try and go for the re-engage, which was just a bit too much. They didn't expect Jackie's to be there.
Yeah.
Mickey spawns immediately. Skeens is still very low. Leader does get Noah low enough so that then Yappa can finish him off. But Leader going down as well. It's a 2-for-2 on the play. And maybe with the TP it's worth it, but I think at this stage SK would much rather be slowing this pace down and hoping that they can start to take objectives and towers.
And Wonder falling at the very end of that as well, not ideal. Jackie's gets a wave to shove in bot side, and we'll take this turret. That is one to the side of GX, their first one of the game now. Just over 21 minutes at this point, so. Yeah, I mean, it's a close one. SK still have a small gold lead, but they have the dragon stacked in 2 minutes time until that soul fight. The fact that GX have not been able to get a single one of those means that they're in the pressure seat right now. They're gonna have to stop SK from getting this approach. Picks can be a good place to start as the charm will land on a Wonder. Follow-up Cyclone from Isma, and they cook the bird again.
Ich hasse dieses Team so sehr. Ich hasse sie so sehr. Ich hasse sie so sehr, Mann.
The focus of SK to try and pick him off, but if you can actually get Wonder off of the page or get Leader off of the map, you're in a much stronger spot as Giant to push in waves and try and just get vision for this dragon.
From sitting duck to silly goose to
Support-Items sind immer besser auf Support.
I see you're getting that new Swain skin, yeah?
Und du kannst ja nicht voraussehen, wie lange du noch Geld bekommst, also viel Geld bekommst, weißt du? Und am Ende carryst du das Game eh nicht, ob du da jetzt einen Hardsealer, also mit dem Hardseal carry die halt auch, ne?
As he will Warrior Trickster back to safety. So no one goes down on either side, but that is ultimate expended.
Oh.
Yappa.
Es ist, man hat einfach im Draft schon gewusst, die können dieses Game nicht gewinnen und trotzdem schiffe ich mir Hoffnung. Und vielleicht kriegen sie noch Soul, wenn die das mit Soul verlieren, das wäre der Ultra-Bruch.
It's going to be 35 until that spawns. So Spirit Rush, I think it'll still be on cooldown just slightly when it starts. So
bedankt.
Right before the fight.
Yeah, you can see now again, Wunder TPing in with just shy of 30 seconds before this fight kicks off. But you're still seeing like 2 items not completed there for Leader in the mid lane. You're very close to a third for Wunder, but not quite able to make it happen either. So it's going to be a tough fight here.
A lot on the flank right now. As Leader's going to walk straight into it. Dominus Renekton. Heavy chunk, heavy trade in favor of Lot. Leader also getting followed up by Noah. He's got a flashback to safety. Not how SK wanted to start this one off. As GX have now already kind of won the health bar trade to kick things off, as Leader will head towards that mid lane, try and push that one instead.
Yeah, still though, he doesn't have a TP to try and get back in. Random Ignite. Jackie's goes
in with the Spirit Rush as Yzma gets onto the back line. Yappa needs to kite back. Lot trying to follow up, and he gets the shutdown.
Yep.
Now back to the Dragon. Charmlands.
Unwinnable.
He's out of there. Jun gets a kill on a scheme, so no smite contest. GX. Defend the Dragon and stop the stacking of SK.
I mean, there was 2 good plays in that from Giant X. One was getting that early burn on towards Leader, and 2, this Jackie's Yzma combo making stuff happen. The focus goes on to Ari, which buys enough attention grabbing for Yzma to dive onto the back line. And even here, Skeens thinks he can pick off Jackie's, but ends up giving his life. And at that stage, no jungler. It's Giant X who can pick up the objective.
Beautifully played from Jackie's right there. Spear rushing in, spear rushing again, gets the Foxfire, gets the Rocket Belt, and still survives, but back to live. GX want more. They get the Dragon, they deter the Soul, and now they're looking at the Baron. SK is going to be approaching this one, but Skeens is all the way back in base. They can TP Lot up here. Leader's on the flank. He picks up the arrow. Mickey has no ultimate available, so no gravity will to help out as Lots just keep the Wonder out of this fight. The Chain of Corruption lands here onto Jackie's. Baron is secure. GX now need to get out of there as Skeens has joined in. Leader in a 1v4. He likes those odds for now, but he will fall. SK lose their mid laner. Still have a 4v5 in the health bar trades, but the charm will go wide. Lot's not quite there either. GX trying to get out of this position, but they have too many members on the wrong side right now. SK are just grouped up, and now John Yzma gets a Cyclone. Focus on the Yappa, but it's only Jun hitting him. Lot's got to get in there. Wunder already takes down Yzma, and they got...
Dieses Team frustriert. Das ist alles, was sie machen. Dieses Team frustriert einfach nur. Du weißt einfach im Draft, die können dieses Game nicht gewinnen. Es ist egal, was sie machen, die können dieses Game nicht gewinnen. No matter what. Und genau so ist es. Die werden 30 Minuten erhalten sich und dann verlieren sie das Game, weil die es nicht gewinnen können. It's impossible im Draft. Impossible im Draft.
Realizes that Lot's going to cut him off, so tries to go for the engage, but it might have been a little bit early. SK couldn't quite get into range. So Giant X once more, they kite back, they corral SK, and once SK all grew up, but it's a great engage. The immediate knock-up sets up them for Jun and Noah to just continue peppering down these members of SK. And as the Crocodile gets into the middle of them, it's just lights out for SK.
Yeah, it took a while to get on the Yappa, but they did eventually take him down. And honestly, I think that was a moment where the Anivia wall kind of hurt them more than it helped them, because Skeens can't walk through that. They wanted to keep the chase going, but Wunder threw it up, and then they're like, okay, well now we have to kind of wait for that to go down before we can actually get in there. GX with the Baron, and now with a large gold lead, will continue sieging onto these tier 2 turrets. They take down the bottom one. Mid one's already chunked a little bit here, so GX on the precipice of a 2-0 right now, dagged up. They play clean, but as I say that, Jun might just get picked. Lands the encore on the Skeens and Mickey, but the team is not interested in getting picked with them. They will let him be the sacrifice. Wunder finds the kill.
Yeah, there are certain support players that kind of get the Enchanter pass.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Jun has really earned his one yet. There's been a couple of times this game where he's got caught out in off positions. Either way, though, the engages have been swell from him, and now it's just a case of, well, giving a little bit of time back to SK to get waves into positions. But realistically, I think you're still fine as Giant X. The only piece that you're worried about is a potential smite steal on that dragon, because it can still give soul even when you're in a good position like this.
Yeah, and even when you're in a good position, you're still trying to deal with the engage of a Rel, a Varus poking you down, full lethality, Wonder just being annoying on the Anivia. So it's like, job's not done for GX. They're going to have to play this next dragon approach cleanly, but they will be approaching it with a close to 4,000 gold lead right now. A lot of that being on the top half of the map. Lot with the lead, Yzma with the lead. GA completed on the Wukong. And we also have the Medjai's picked up by Jackie's here as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes long, and Wonder just barely able to...
Oh, vielen Dank für den 13.
Yeah, just fishing again for picks, and Giant X has been doing a really good job of getting them. Like, this is what got them back into the...
Blade of the Rune King geht, oder?
Between Yzma and Jackie's.
Nee, warte, was geht denn der? Das ist nicht Blade of the Rune King.
Get push on mid. Still
Ah, der geht AI. Okay, dann liegt das Wemset einfach nur da.
And with this dragon about to spawn, we're just about to go again.
And Leader has the Seeker's Arm Guard as well, so I always want to keep track of these luxury items going into these pivotal team fights, because if SK can get this, they're back in the game. Dragon Soul will nullify that 4K gold lead, because the amount of gold worth of stats you get from it basically makes it back into an even game, but you're still happier with the Soul overall. And TP early from Wonder, 20 seconds until the dragon spawns. They just want to make sure that everyone's grouped together and ready for it.
Yeah, if you're SK though, this choke point is your best friend. If you can try and kite back into that and use the Wonder Wall to kind of separate out Giant X, I think you have a chance to play it, but Lot spotted on vision.
Again. He is spotted. All members of SK immediately kite back onto him, and he might be out of position now as Leader will land the abduct. Chains onto Lot as he'll run straight back into Skeens. He needs the team behind him. Pops the Dominus, slices forward, gets a double stun there as Jackie's now rejoins. Leader into the stasis. Skeens getting chunked down. Yzma dives onto the backline with a Cyclone.
Jackie's gegen Leader.
Dancing around with the Spirit Rush to try and get back to safety, but the Charm will land, and GX take down Leader. A killing spree for Lot. And now the rest of SK are going to have to approach into Fog of War. Mickey just immediately popped. GX have done it. Denied the entrance to the Dragon Soul, and they will pick up their second dragon of the game.
Yeah, and Yzma getting to flash away with just this smidgen of HP. Getting enough attention taken on that backside of the fight. We'll see it here, like everything goes...
So schlimm, es ist so schlimm. Apache außerdem der Zero ist da, ne? FYI. FYI. Doch, das warst du, ne? Ja.
But as everyone turns then to try and deal with Yzma, just flashes over the wall. Yeah. And there is nowhere for SK to follow up, so Leader gets completely isolated. And that's basically what we were talking about for SK. They wanted to isolate members, but they themselves end up going too far.
Do we give Jun the Enchanter pass now that he got that on?
Look, he can play team fights, but it's kind of positioning everywhere else has not been wonderful, you know?
Well, that was a beautiful play right there onto 3 and setting up Yzma. And now that they've denied another dragon, they're just buying more time for themselves, and they've expanded this gold lead to 5.
Na, das auch schon probiert, ja, beide hier. Beide, also einmal Mango Lime, das ist die neue, die ist insane, und dann noch Honey Peach, die wurde restockt, ist auch insane.
It's also
beide so geil.
The sheer damage you're going to get if you can start to stack up some more of these Infernal Drakes is going to make it tough. So for SK, I think you have to start now fishing for picks of your own. And we haven't really seen these big engages come through yet that we kind of were hoping for. He's whiffed on a couple of those crash downs, which has just not been the best of times for SK, but they really need him.
Yeah, that 4-and-1 stat line as well kind of disappeared as he has not been able to find those big engages. Teleport flank coming in, Skeen's already chunked. Noah, picked up by Wonder, has to instant cleanse and flash the arrow. Lot completes the teleport and is now looking to continue forward with Jackie's help.
Positive News, Essen ist fertig. Das heißt, nach dem Game kann ich mich schön in 15 Minuten essen und entspannen.
They'll get Wonder's passive, they'll claim Mickey as well. SK will limp back to base with only 3 members up.
SK tried, but Giant X did a great TP ward, and that flank may have just sealed the deal as they...
Was gibt's heute zu essen? Ich glaube Hähnchensteak. Meine Hähnchensteak. Ich melde, ich gebe zurück.
Yappa's going to try and clear out this mid wave, and we see Leader pushing the bot wave. No contest from SK. It is an earned Baron by GX, their second of the game, and now a 6,500 gold lead.
Yeah, and again, like, this is just great from Loss. He buys so much space. Like, Yappa is entirely separated from the rest of the team.
27 Pizza Monster mit lecker.
4 remaining members. It was a great
lecker
from Mickey, but it doesn't matter. Giant X are encroaching on every side, and Yzma and Jackie's have every time got onto key carries to shut down the fight. And honestly, like, this mid-jungle deserves a round of applause.
Zum Glück nichts Veganes, was soll das heißen?
Yeah.
With this Ashe Wukong combo. Or, sorry,
Was soll das heißen?
was not even in the fight. Like, he got hit by the
Anivia.
the Anivia, the Flash Frost. He got to flash away himself. I think he got like 2 autos down in the entire fight. It was all about Lot's TP and then Yzma Jackie's damage. And that's where their gold lead was. Like, Noah is
Oh, ich mir Kartoffeln Gemüse
right
Kürbis.
now.
Lecker.
Almost got the Ashe, but
Lecker.
wallets belong to Lot and Jackie's. And Yzma as well.
And now once again, Giant X just going to push mid, set up vision on this bottom side.
Ja,
Enable
Game ist so
Jackie's
fucking
to get
bright.
pressure on towards this bottom side and take the tower. Yeah, Croc definitely
Is
bigger than
that
Bird.
lore accurate? Do Crocs win in fights with birds? I'm trying to think. I've never seen
Surely it
one.
depends on which bird, because there's some big birds.
Have you seen a crocodile? Those things are huge.
No. I mean, I've seen the one with Steve Irwin. That's about as far as it's gone,
Yeah.
you know?
Pretty big.
I come from Ireland. We don't exactly have things that harm you over here, you know?
Jackie's goes in for the Spear Rush Charm, and Wonder will immediately pop the Seeker's Arm.
Yummy, yummy.
And it'll stop the dive from happening, but Skeen's just getting chunked. This is a paper-thin moon.
Ich soll definitiv die Wave pushen. Ich weiß nicht, was Giant X da. Also, ja, ist okay. Ist okay.
And Noah, which means Jackie's can shred through him as GX will take the first inhibitor in the mid lane and look at the inhibitor turret bot.
Oh, Wonder though. Sidestep.
Nice little sidestep. He's dodging everything. Finally, the beatdown will land. Encore onto 2. Yafo will pop the cleanse as Mickey also just crash adds to safety. Now Yzma just diving the turret, has a cyclone available with the backup of Lava.
GG.
Up of Jackie's, everybody under the turret. That's 1-for-1
Ja.
so far, but with Skeen's
Loser.
falling, it's GX
Hasse dieses
on
Team
the
so sehr.
victory lap. Noah free firing onto everybody.
Hasse dieses Team so sehr.
Young 80 Cariappa can only watch as the Nexus turrets will fall. GX will
So unglaublich fertig.
in a 2-0 victory.
It was a decent start for SK, but Giant X is mid-jungle, putting in work to get this game back into a winning position. Incredible stuff from Jackie's and Yzma.